to another video. In today's video, it's the update of the solar system again. So in the last episode, we left off here at a 240 volt, 30 amp breaker. And that's where I was. So in the past weeks, I have put this in here. So this is where it comes out. I used to have a different plug there where I could take a 20 amp 120, then it runs up there and it goes over to there to another breaker box, and then it goes down there. All right, so we have 2-inch conduit, 18 inches in the ground, goes from there all the way to here. This was all dug by hand. This was all cleared by hand. And if you're wondering why there's an angle, well, where I dug, it's straight. But the backhoe kind of has that because it just is on a pivot. So I've got my existing here. I added another junction box so I could get power out there. And there she is. Alright, so I've got the Win 420 and it's an inverter. It can do the 30 amp 240 volt basically. So I come from my underground into this junction box here, and then you might have been wondering, why do you run power to the generator? And the reason for that is so the little generator battery can stay topped off all the time without any problems. And so then I also added a chain right into the foundation, I guess. So it's all locked, chained up right there. And everything is completely legitimate. The first time I ran it with the door closed, and about 45 minutes later, it turned off, shut down. I came out here and there was boiling noises coming out of the generator, and it was like started up the next day fine, so, and then it ran, so with the door open. Door open's kind of critical. I got a little vent I put in there that was there. I put in, this has its own ground, so I put a ground in for the generator because the generator has a ground fault connection, and I was like, well, might as well just stick it on. If the generator has a fault, why send it to my stuff? I'm sure there's a breaker in the way, but why not just put it in the ground right out here? In the last video, I said that my generator would be able to be turned on by my AIOs. Like when they get to a certain voltage, they'll just be able to turn this on, because this generator is advertised as transfer switch ready, which at this point I have no idea what that means. Like, I think any generator is transfer switch ready, because the transfer switch is just basically something you put in your breaker, your typical home breaker box, that you can turn on your generator and then it will run a certain portion of your, So I really don't know what the specifics of this generator was. I was thinking it was going to be this whole automatic thing that I'd be able to set up, but no. This thing, I have to come pull the choke out. I have to start it. It's definitely not that capability. I was just incorrect. But this generator was only $900. I literally spent more money installing the generator than I did on the generator. Just the plug, the pigtail that goes from the generator to the plug in there, that was $130. 3 pieces from Plaid Electric, $130. Like, I could have got one 10-footer, but I didn't want a 10-footer. I could have got a 10-footer for like half that, literally. So it was not a cheap build, but this situation is set up now. The only thing I'm really going to change is because it turned off when the door was shut, and I'd like to be able to run it when the door is shut. So I'm probably going to put in vents on either side with like a little housing that kind of blocks the snow, like, you know. So a couple more vents and this is done. I also might drill in through the sides over here, but just more, I didn't do very good on the concrete. So I got 4 screws going into blue screws going into the concrete, and I might just drill in right through this siding, because if the siding is into the concrete, then I really don't have anything to worry about. I probably don't, because the wind is blocked from both sides, but it's just going to be peace of mind. I'm just going to pop a couple more screws in there when the weather clears up a little bit, and then I'm going to pour the gravel all the way up, so there'll be less of a lip here. So, all right, there is a over-engineered, it's not really over-engineered, but this is like the ultimate. And when I was saying in the last video that I wanted to make it future-proof, I didn't. This thing is all just for this generator. I hope just to not have to use it. And I think what I might do, because I could just know that generators is just buy, they're $900. Just buy another one of these generators and just have it on backup. So my backup has a backup, which is kind of the off-grid ultimate, right? And ultimately, like, I'll have wind and a lot more solar, so this will hardly ever be used in the, eventually. But right now, like, I've had to use it about 5 hours since I got a hold of it about 3 weeks ago. So, I mean, not a lot, an hour of running this thing charges the battery up. I mean, it's so great. So anyway, I hope you liked the video. Like and subscribe. Peace.